after the arrest of the person, the suspect who is believed to be responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk in a horrific shooting at Utah Valley University. The suspect now has been in custody since, I believe, around roughly midnight local time in Utah. I'm filming this on the afternoon of September 12th. There's a lot to go through here, and I'm going to say some things that I think some of you might agree with, might disagree with, but I think we need to lay out what we know, where this situation went so unbelievably, horrifically wrong. Where do we go from here? How do we avoid a situation like this from ever happening again? Even though the unfortunate reality is you can prepare all you want and you're just not going to be able to stop every bad guy out there. But maybe we can save some lives by stopping people from becoming bad guys to begin with. And I hope that you guys will hear me out. You'll listen to me. You'll listen to what I have to say. You might agree, you might disagree. And feel free to share your thoughts as well. This is an open back and forth, and we're all trying to figure this out together. And that's what we're going to do. Before we do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Huge boost to the channel. It's very important you do that. Equally important, I want to see all your comments below. I want to see everything going through your head, everything you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that bell, all notifications turned on. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, XD Hookstead. My DMs are open. If there's anything you want to share or if there's just something on your mind, feel free to reach out. I try to respond to as many as I can. I think people would even say in the comments, I do a great job with that, but I will occasionally miss some. It's not personal. I get a lot. I try to respond to them all. And like I said, we're trying to get through a lot. So let's get into it. President Trump early Friday morning announced that they had someone in custody. Then there was a press conference that happened. I'm going to put this on the screen announcing that Tyler Robinson had been arrested and charged with the murder of Charlie Kirk. What you're looking at right now is one of the mugshots that was released by the authorities. I'm going to put this up. This is the second mugshot released by the authorities of Tyler Robinson, a man in his early 20s who was taken into custody late Thursday night, early Friday morning, depending on where you are in the country. It was right on that time zone area of midnight. And he is believed to be the gunman that snatched Kirk's life away from him with a single shot that struck Kirk in the throat, in the jugular area on Wednesday. I'm obviously not going to show you those videos. Those videos are highly disturbing. They are out there. It is chaotic. It is heartbreaking. It is unbelievably graphic. So if you're going to watch the videos, understand that. But what you're seeing on the screen now is a photo of Tyler Robinson, who is believed to be the lone gunman. I'm going to put this up on the screen. This is from the press conference. This is Governor Spencer Cox, and he's going to walk us through what happened.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a
So to be clear, what the governor is talking about right now is the motives, and we're going to get into that here shortly. The motives of Tyler Robinson, the accused killer of Charlie Kirk. He expressed anti-Kirk views, had become more political, and he's going to reveal more details here involving exactly what happened, including what was written on the bullets, allegedly, of course, we're saying allegedly. And it's troubling on a level that I'm struggling to wrap my head around it. And I'll explain why shortly.
Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel.
So here they are discussing, for anyone who might be struggling to follow along, Tyler Robinson allegedly sent messages about where his rifle was located, hidden, what it was wrapped in, and that is what they're alleging matches up with what they know. They're alleging that those messages are a key piece of evidence that Tyler Robinson, as well as his confession to his own family member, his father, who then alerts authorities, these are pieces of evidence they're presenting to make the case that Tyler Robinson is the guy they're looking for.
The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle.
For those of you who don't know, a 30-06 rifle can pack a punch. That round can be devastating if put on target with accuracy. I know that a lot of you watching this know a lot about guns, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. 30-06 round is not anything that's playing games. When that thing makes contact with what it's aiming at, it is going to unleash a significant blow, which, again, we've all seen the video. No point in getting into that again.
The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO.
All right, so that's kind of the details. Now I'm going to share this
indebted to law enforcement
right here for you all, because the governor.
Children in the United States are only 20% of the population.
Here we go. Let me pull this down real quick. I really got to get YouTube Premium. I apologize. So I'm going to put it back up for y'all. Feel free to make fun of me if you want in the comments, but this is obviously very serious.
On camera, in all of our hands and in all of our pockets. We are not wired as human beings.
So he's going to share a very important message here about how dangerous this can be to someone who is not all there in the head. Your phone, social media, getting on the internet constantly, allowing your brain to be melted. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Biologically, historically, we have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage, again, I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. I had a friend in a small city in Utah who.
So we'll stop it here. I'm going to put this on the screen. This is more details that we know about Tyler Robinson. This is from Utah State University. This was released in the morning hours on Friday, September 12th. It says Utah State University recently learned to confirm that Tyler Robinson, the suspect arrested in the killing of Charlie Kirk, briefly attended Utah State University for one semester. So he was a college student for one semester. Now I'm going to put this on the screen, and I want us all to just take a moment. Give me a second to get it up there. I want us all to take a moment, and I'm going to explain to you what my research has found. And then we are going to get into what I think is the most shocking part of this. So I'm getting it ready. Still working through StreamYard here. All right. This is a tweet that I sent. So I spent all morning looking into Tyler Robinson, looking into his family, and I'm not going to mention his family's name. I'm not going to mention his father, his mother, his siblings, but it reads, Tyler Robinson had a 4.0 GPA, an ACT score in the top 1% of America. These are facts that I found. Traveled with his parents and appeared incredibly happy in his younger years. I looked at a ton of photos, ton of information, and I said something changed. Something melted his brain. Something radicalized him. We need answers, and we need them now. So this is what I want to dig into, and I want us to keep an open mind. I want you guys to listen to me, and then you can let me know in the comments whether you agree or not. From what I found this morning in my research, Tyler Robinson came from a very stable, very loving two-parent household in Utah. His parents seem to have done well for themselves, created and provided a loving environment for him. They appear to be very pro-America. They appear to be great American citizens. And there's going to be some people who want to point fingers at his parents. Tyler Robinson was an adult man. What he did as an adult man, he is responsible for. You can't blame the parents when someone has been out of the home for years. The question we need to be asking, and we need to get an answer to, is how did a young man with the world at his fingertips, a perfect student, brought up in a great environment with plenty of support, who gets a scholarship to college because of his grades, and by all accounts, from what you see online in his younger years, is unbelievably happy, living in a very happy home. What drives a young man to then allegedly murder someone in broad daylight with a lone bullet fired from a sniper position in front of 1,000 people? What is the cancer in our society that infects a young man who is, by all accounts, perfectly normal at 18 when he leaves home, and just a few short years later commits, allegedly, one of the most famous, infamous murders in modern U.S. history. Videos of that murder will be on the internet forever. The images are seared into people's brains. And we have a sickness. And part of the sickness is no doubt tied to this. And part of the sickness is no doubt tied to the fact that people get online and read things and engage in things and lose touch with the outside world. And that's very dangerous. It's incredibly dangerous. And I said this earlier today, and it upset a lot of people, but I stand by it. Say a prayer for his parents. Say a prayer for his other family members. Because his parents, again, by all appearances, went out of their way to give him a stable home, not just a normal childhood, a great childhood, traveling all over the place, had him set up for success in school with a 4.0 GPA and an ACT score in the top 1% of America. That was the environment they built. And then he leaves at some point and leaves the path of having a bright future and descends down a dark hole. And when he leaves that dark hole, it ends with Charlie Kirk being dead. And maybe we're not ready to confront the level of evil that's out there. But people deserve answers. Who was this guy's social circle? Who was he talking to? Did he have friends? What was he doing on the weekends? Was he social? Did he isolate from people? What rabbit holes did he find himself down? And people got very angry when I said pray for his family. It's not his parents' fault. And that's going to be difficult for people to process, but it's true. What you do as a high schooler, yeah, your parents share a lot of responsibility for that because you're living in their home and they're responsible for you. But once you leave and you're an adult, years after you're gone, your parents did everything they could to get you to a place of success, which they did with Tyler Robinson. He had a massive scholarship to Utah State and then leaves and starts down a very dark and troubling path. And it's another reminder, you need to check in on people. You need to check in on your family members. You need to check in on your friends. And you need to make sure that they're okay and they're not drifting to a place where the outcome ends with them shooting and killing somebody. The brain is a crazy thing. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I understand how the brain works at its deepest depths. But I know this is a tragedy across many levels. It's a tragedy because Charlie Kirk, a father and a husband, is dead. And he left behind 2 kids and a wife. And his parents are still here with us. It's a tragedy because a man who had the opportunity to do anything he wanted in life chose to commit one of the most horrific acts of evil we've ever seen. And it's easy for people to just say, well, he was evil. I'm telling you, and I'm not going to share the photos of his family. I'm not going to share their information here because we don't need anybody doing anything stupid. Something happened to this guy. Something along the way from him leaving home to September 10th, 2025, when he snatches the life of Charlie Kirk away, something happened to him. He went from being an all-American kid who was perfect in school to being a murderer. How'd that happen? Why'd that happen? Can anyone explain that? Was he taught something? Did he associate with people that melted his brain? There are some dark corners of the internet. And something we've seen time and time again with people who carry out these evil acts, they live in those dark corners of the internet. And I'm not talking about people who like to be on social media, Instagram, X, Reddit, whatever it might be. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the darkest corners of the internet. Add social isolation on top of that, and you have a recipe for disaster. And we have a sickness in this country. The soul of this country is broken. We have so much hate and anger and just vitriol. And I'll say it, it's coming more from one side than the other. Say whatever you want about politics. When Charlie Kirk was killed, what was the response? You saw prayer groups. You saw people getting together. You saw communities rallying around each other. You didn't see places getting burned down. You didn't see riots. And there's something to be said for that. There is absolutely something to be said for that. Because we all remember what happened not that long ago. And I got to be careful here so YouTube doesn't take this down. This guy, I'll put him on the screen again. Look at his eyes. Look at his lifeless eyes. And there's photos floating around of him just a few years ago with his parents. Happy as could be. There's a video of him reading the letter he gets about his scholarship to Utah State. And he seems like the happiest kid in the world. And then one semester later, he's gone. And here we are in September of 2025. Charlie Kirk is dead. He's facing a murder charge. We have got to figure out a way to end this carnage. And we, as a society, have got to figure out a way to end this sickness. Not everyone is normal. That's okay. I'm probably not normal. But damn, what do you have to end up doing to walk the path this guy allegedly walked? Just so full of hate, piss, and vinegar, he gets a rifle allegedly and kills a guy in broad daylight. And why did he do it? Where did things go wrong? I wish I had the answers for you, but I truly don't. But I know that this country has a sickness, and I know that if we don't get it fixed, we are seeing the beginning, not the end of a problem. And I'll also say this. The local police, from everything I've heard, everything I've seen on TV, did an exceptional job. The people higher up the chain was a clown show. And for some people to go out there and Cash Patel to go out there and be like, this is the result of cops being cops. No, this was the result of his father turning him in. Let's be crystal clear about that. They only caught him because his own father turned him in, had to turn his son in. An all-American man who'd raised an all-American family, living a good life in Utah without any problems, had to turn his son in for allegedly killing somebody. And if you don't understand that there is more pain than just the Kirk family, I don't know what to tell you. His parents just lost their son through actions they could not control. And his son is probably going to face the worst punishment possible. The governor already said he would. And he turned him in, knowing what awaited him. I wish I had the answers. I wish I could sit here and tell you this is how it gets better from here. But I don't. And at the end of the day, we have got to figure out a way to fix this because we have too many people going down radical paths, certainly on one side more than the other. And every one of those people presents a clear and present danger. And if we can figure out a way to stop that before they get radicalized, maybe we can save some lives. So pray for Charlie Kirk's family. Pray for his friends. Pray for the country. Pray for your neighbors. Pray for the people around you. We could all do a better job of looking out for people. And yes, I did say today, pray for this guy's parents. Their lives are shattered and over as well. And the trauma they're going through is every bit as terrible as what a lot of other people are feeling for very different reasons. They'll have to live with this forever. That somehow, some way, their normal son, when he was 18, now in his early 20s, is accused of assassinating someone. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And that's kind of all I have to say about it right now. I wish I had more for you. I wish I had a solution. But we have a sickness and we need to find a cure. And we need to get these people help before they continue down this path of darkness. But I want to know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments. What do you think about this entire situation? Please make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell, all notifications on. And if you want to reach out and tell me your thoughts, Instagram, David_Hookstead, XDHookstead. You can find me there. Send me any thoughts you got. Hug your family this weekend. Keep your family close. Tell your friends how much you love them, because you truly don't know what day will be the last, and you don't want them to be gone without you saying it. They don't want you to be gone without them saying it. Say a prayer for the soul of our country. We need it. I'll see y'all next time.